drive. Left center field. Gone! Danny Jansen clears the bases, and it's a 10-run inning for the Blue Jays.
Oh, my goodness. Where do we begin? The Yankees lose yesterday 12-7. Dan Shulman on Sportsnet with the call the Jansen Grand Slam banger that really put the game out of reach. But this game was lost really when the Yankees bullpen had a chance to come in and try and save the game. Because during this stretch of just putrid baseball the Yankees have played in the last 3 to 4 weeks already, it's been the bullpen, which is supposed to be their biggest strength, absolutely failing this team. So right now, let's paint the picture. The Yankees have lost 4 straight, 14 of their last 19, and right now they're in 3rd place in the American League East. They're now 2 games behind the 2nd place Blue Jays, and oh, by the way, 6.5 back of the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, forget the division. The division doesn't even mean much this year. It's a 60-game season. Half the league makes the playoffs. Home field advantage doesn't really mean anything because the games are going to be played most likely in a bubble come playoff time. So forget the division. But the fact that the Yankees, who are now 21-20 overall, following a 16-6 start, are now the 8th and final playoff spot right now in the expanded playoffs is a joke. And I don't want to hear the excuses about the injuries because the reality is the Yankees are healthy enough in their bullpen where they shouldn't be blowing lead after lead after lead. They led by 4 runs in this game. They're leading 6-2 in the 6th inning, and they proceed to give up 10 runs. I mean, the bullpen is just an absolute disgrace. I don't know how else you could say it. Adam Ottavino makes a lot of money. He stunk last night. Chad Green, he's been bad. Zach Britton's blown a game or 2. Chapman, Aroldis Chapman, their high-paid closer, he's blown a game or 2. During this stretch where the Yankees haven't hit for anything, the few games they have hit and have a lead, the bullpen blows it. It's just when something good happens, something bad happens with another unit on the team. And that's the sign of a really bad baseball team. I mean, right now the Yankees don't deserve to make the playoffs, if we're being honest. I still would think they probably get in just because eventually they'll piece together some runs, but they don't deserve to make the playoffs with how bad they played. Gary Sanchez can't hit. He's batting 130. He's been healthy, and now he's benched. Aaron Hicks has struggled. Brett Gardner has struggled. You have a bunch of automatic outs in this lineup like a Tyler Wade or Tyro Estrada. I mean, yeah, do the Yankees have more injuries than most teams? Of course. But that's just not good enough. They've been horrendous. And they should be held accountable for how they played. No one's going to feel bad for the Yankees because they have a bunch of injuries. You're just not. I mean, give me a break. You're leading 6-2 last night in the 6th inning, and you give up 10 runs? And let me say this about Aaron Boone, because I understand there's frustration, and the thing to do is to blame the manager. Aaron Boone can't force his bullpen guys to pitch better. Aaron Boone can't stop Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, DJ LeMahieu, Gleyber Torres, James Paxton. Do you want me to keep going? Because I can. All these guys from getting hurt. The manager can only do so much. Do I love hearing from Boone after these games? I saw some good things out there. No, I don't want to hear that after your team's getting their tuchuses beat for the 14th time in the last 19 games. But the manager is overrated in baseball. The manager means a lot more in the playoffs than he does in the regular season. The reality is the guys that the Yankees do have need to be better. Last night, Jordan Montgomery can't get booted out of the game in the 4th inning because he's laboring and has over 80-something pitches. Garrett Cole can't lose a game against the Orioles over the weekend. That just can't happen. All right, you can't have your starting pitchers routinely not give you more than 5 innings. It's going to catch up with your bullpen. And when they do have a lead, and you do get it to the high-leverage guys like last night, you can't blow it. So right now, the Yankees are just garbage. They are. They're 1 game over 500 after they started 16-6. And I get it. It's a gimmicky season. 60 games, doubleheaders galore, no fans, all that. But you can't start 16-6 and then drop 14 of your next 19. You just can't. And, there's some talk that, Jake, what does it matter? The Yankees will make the playoffs. That's how I felt for a while, but now I'm fed up. because I'm not just going to assume the Yankees are going to make the playoffs at this point. I would think yesterday was rock bottom because I don't know if it could get worse than what it was yesterday, right? But I'm not going to sit here and assume the Yankees are going to make the playoffs because right now they can't get out of their own way. They've lost 4 straight. They're game over 500. And if you look at the playoff situation right now, they're the 8th seed. They have a 2.5 game lead in front of the Orioles. The Mariners are right there. The Tigers. I mean, what are we doing? And if we're being honest, if the playoffs weren't expanded, the Yankees don't belong in the playoffs. Now, I understand the team they have is not the team that they hope to have by the time the playoffs start in 3 weeks when they get healthier. But this has just been terrible. And I'm sorry. The guys on this team need to do better. Someone needs to hold these guys accountable. They all need to hold each other accountable. Because the sign of a bad team is how they've been playing, where one thing goes right, but then the other thing goes wrong. Like last night, the offense puts up 6 runs. You're thinking, wow, all right, maybe they finally break out of this garbage. And then the bullpen gives up 10 runs in the 6th inning. Ottavino, who's paid very well to try and do his job, stunk. Chad Green, bad. Luke Voigt making an error at first. I mean, it was just everything falling apart last night, and that's been a microcosm of the last 3 weeks for this Yankee team. Let's hear from the manager that everyone in New York seems to, or at least on Twitter, which I'm guilty of using Twitter to influence, how majority of fans are thinking, but I digress. This was Boone after the game last night saying, hey, we can't feel sorry for ourselves.
We'll say the right things again, and we need to get past it. We need to play better, obviously. We did some good things, obviously, at the plate where we've been struggling a little bit. I thought we had a lot of good at-bats up and down the lineup tonight. Hopefully we can build on that. And, anytime we get a lead through the middle innings, we'll take our chances at the back end. So we've got to do better, but we've also have to have the ability to move forward.
He's right, but I also don't want to hear we've been doing some good things when they're losing all these games. I mean, they should score runs. They should pitch better. But I have never been more upset with this bullpen because this bullpen, for the most part, has been healthy. Yes, Britton went on the IL for a stint, but he's back now. Yes, Chapman had COVID and missed the start of the year. But this bullpen is supposed to be the best in baseball, and they have failed this team during this 3-week stretch where they've been one of the worst teams in the league. I mean, Ottavino, Britton, Chapman, Green, they're all paid very well, and they all need to be better than what they've been because they've blown a lot of these winnable games. The Yankees should have at least 5 or 6 more wins this year. Go back to that Mets series a couple of weeks back. They blew 2 games in a doubleheader. Go back to over the weekend against the Orioles last night. I mean, I could find 5 or 6 games where the Yankee bullpen, which is supposed to be their biggest strength, has just crapped the bed. Crapped the bed Odell Beckham Jr. style. I mean, they've been horrendous. They got to be better. And the fact that we got a scoreboard watch the Tigers and the Orioles tells you all you need to know about the state of the 2020 Yankees.